Well, when they voted for the impeachment of the president, they violated due process. It was a rush bill, 72 hours from introduction to voting. When we can take constitutional rights away from an American president, what makes us think that it can't happen to every American citizen across the board?
So it had nothing to do with whether or not you thought Trump was guilty, because one of the things I think you said was it was a betrayal of trust to the constituents on the part of Representative Meijer. How was it a betrayal of trust?
Well, he launched an entire congressional campaign in July of 2019 because Congressman Amash tweeted about impeaching the same exact president that Representative Meijer voted to actually impeach.
But those were two different things.
When you launch an entire campaign like that, and the entire premise is that you're going to work with that president, even if that president only has 8 days left in his office, to go in there and do the same exact thing that you launched an entire congressional campaign on, that's where your trust is violated. Because
they were two separate things, though. The first impeachment was over pressuring Ukraine to dig up dirt on the Biden family. This impeachment was over inciting a mob that attacked the United States Capitol. I mean, isn't he allowed to change his opinion based on two entirely different subject matters?
Well, you're allowed to change your opinion on two different subject matters, but why aren't we holding Democrats to the same standard of inciting 5,000 riots across the United States?
Hold on. Democrats aren't up for impeachment on anything. This is specifically about the impeachment of President Trump. And you said that he betrayed trust because he,
I don't think the president incited a riot.
Okay, so that's what you think the betrayal of trust is. You don't think that the president did anything impeachable. That's what this is all about.
He didn't do anything impeachable. He said, go peacefully and protest.
Okay, but that's why you're launching your campaign, because he voted to impeach President Trump.
No, he violated the president's due process of law. There was no actual hearings. They had 72 hours from introduction to voting. There's no hearing, no process, no nothing. They took impeachment and they violated the Constitution in such egregious of a way that you could literally impeach Joe Biden because he tripped wrong over the steps.
Okay. Going into this campaign, it's obvious that President Trump is less popular in Michigan and in this district than he was in 2016 when he won, just based on the vote total. Do you think that there is an appetite right now in the 3rd Congressional District for a very closely Trump-aligned candidate?
I think there's more than a path for that, because what has happened is they've made President Trump a martyr. With the way they did the impeachment process and the way they've gone about actually silencing him, they've made him a martyr, and he's becoming more popular. That's what I find absolutely a complete phenomenon.
On what are you basing the fact that you think he's more popular now? What metrics are you basing that on?
Well, you look at some of the polling, they had 60% of Americans were opposed to the impeachment for this last one because it was rushed and it violated the due process. And there's a lot of people, as they see gas prices go up and the economy start to tank as Joe Biden takes away jobs for the oil industry, they're going to sit there and actually look more fondly on President Trump's years of economic growth.
Okay. Despite all this, it sounds like personally, you like Representative Meijer.
Well, yeah, we have a personal relationship, but we have a lot of big fundamental differences.
Okay. So we're still obviously a long way out yet on this campaign from Election Day in 2022. Is this something that you're gearing up right now, or is this going to be a slow ramp up to this campaign?
We're gearing up right now in order to get the organization in place, make sure that we're raising money, making sure that we're actually getting everything fine-tuned. And then that way, as soon as the redistricting maps, we know what they're going to look like. That way we can launch a full campaign into that new map. We know that we'll be in the same exact district as Representative Meijer because of how close of proximity we actually live in. And I don't think they're going to cut Kent County completely apart. So that's going to be the main body of the 3rd district. And then there's going to be other areas that branch out. And the districts are going to become more red because we're losing a congressional seat. And there's no way you can draw a map to really gerrymander this district more into a swing district. So I think it's going to become more Trump friendly.
One question I want to ask you, do you think that Joe Biden won the election fairly?
Well, they should have actually had evidence heard. It's not for me to decide that. That's actually for the courts to actually hear evidence. They haven't.
I'm asking what you believe. I'm asking what you believe as a voter. Do you believe Joe Biden won the election fairly?
I think that there was election fraud, plenty of it in Arizona. I think there was plenty of it in Georgia. We know Wayne County's been corrupt for years. We put clerks in jail there. And I know that we've had election fraud in Nevada for years. And I think election fraud has happened in every state, needs to be addressed everywhere.
So you will not say right now, you will not say that Joe Biden won the election fairly.
I can say that he was elected by the Constitution by certifying the votes of the states in the Electoral College.